Well, hello, my friends, and I hope you're having a good Sunday morning already. Doing a fun project today, and I can't wait to share it with you. But let's go over the supplies real quick before we dive in. So here's our project for today. Just super fun. I can't wait to share about this at the end of the video. But our supplies are fairly simple. I used in the background, I didn't start with any papers, which is very unusual for me. And I started with my teals, and I put teals down and I layered between this one, and then I did some manganese blue, and I used my scrapers. I got some new scrapers and I wanted to see how they performed, and so that's what I did. I just was really honestly playing, and I knew that I wanted to do kind of the colors, but I wasn't exactly sure where I was going to go. So I started out with my scrapers and these three colors. This is cobalt turquoise, bright aqua green, and manganese blue. And my scrapers. I also used, I'm still trying my Holbein gesso. Haven't found a true love for it just yet. It's not as thick as my Utrecht gesso, but it's great. I mean, it's like a titanium white, but it's got that ground of gesso. So I'm still working with it and trying to find my love for it. So Holbein gesso, I use some bright or olive green light by Amsterdam. It's just kind of a green gold or bright green. And then I used regular olive green and some high flow titanium white by Golden and some Algerian crimson hue Studio 71. This is like a Hobby Lobby brand, I think. I've tried to find it like on Amazon and I can't, but there's Algerian crimson hue. There's lots of paint brands that have this color. And so, and then my trusty raw umber, and then I did use some bright orange. I started out with some burnt sienna, but it wasn't bright enough. I needed that pop of bright because of the feeling of the page. I used my matte gel to put down my words, and my fluid matte medium to put down my my matte gel to put down my papers, and my fluid matte medium to put down my words. Then I used some just gorgeous bright soft pastels which matched the color of my page, and of course my trusty charcoal pencil. And so I started with that turquoise, layering that turquoise and the blue and just scraping the heck out of it. And then I used some alcohol to kind of wipe that back. And then I used, and the stencils that I used for today's project, layered up one alphabet and then the peony buds and blooms. So you can see the layered up in the background, it's there. And it kind of flowing around the page, and then of course the flowers, and then soft pastels from some of my marks. And I found just random papers in my stash that's next to my table that kind of had the same colors, that kind of bright, fun, happy, almost tropical feel to go along with my photo. And I just started after I got the background down. I put my stencil over the top of the turquoise and then did kind of a umber wash over that to kind of mute it down. It's super pretty. I used raw umber for the stencil too. And then put my papers down and then added my rest of my stenciling and my marks, and then put some white over that to kind of soften it because it was very busy and could have gotten quickly out of hand. But all of these little bits are just things that were in my stash that kind of reminded me of this page and my resting time. And so that is the supplies for today's project. So stick around for the conversation at the end. I'll talk about why I created the page that I created and go over that. And so I will see you at the end of the video, and let's get creating. All right, my loves, I hope you enjoyed that project. It was fun, casual, easy. And I actually had been gone for a week for a little vacation. It has been a long, hard road to get to the vacation. We were supposed to take some time off, well, gosh, a year and a half ago. Maybe more than that. 2 years ago, that was our first time, and then everything got shut down. And then a year later, we thought we were going to actually not even go anywhere, but I was going to take some time off. And then that didn't happen because of still all the things in the flood and all that stuff. So finally, we were able to take our annual trip to Florida and see some friends. And so this page is really representational of that. Couple things before we dive in. Coming up, I have a new workshop coming out called Rock and Recycle. It is a good one. If you like grungy, rusty things, this workshop is for you. So keep an eye out for that. I'll have a link to, I think, the landing page by the time you watch this, if not a preview of the workshop on the blog. So wanted to let you know about that. And then, of course, the new stencils that are in the shop that I used to create with today. So, and that's really it. All right. So, like I said, we were gone for the week, and it always takes me a week not a week, a day. We're only gone 5 days, and we always go stay with friends of ours in Florida. And we left a snowstorm and went to Florida. It was like a culture shock because it just was warm and sunny and flowers everywhere. And we sat by the beach, and I got sunburned. I blistered my lips, and I loved every single minute of it. It just was, it was warm. And so we had a great time, and it always takes me a day or so to kind of like stop rushing. And I don't know if that happens to you or not, but it takes me a while to like, okay, I don't have an agenda. I can just do, I can just rest. I can just read. I go to the beach, whatever. Our friends that we stay with are fantastic and easy to be with. And we just had a great time and fellowship and, all that. So, but it was just so good to be away and rest and be in a different place. And it always, always inspires me. And so I have all kinds of ideas for new pieces with a lot of these colors. So let's take a look. So of course the palm trees are representative of where we were. I mean, we used to live in Arizona, so Florida's similar and yet not the same. The colors are very vibrant and different in Florida, the flowers, because there's humidity and all of that, which is why all of these colors came into play. The ocean water, the bright, brilliant blue sky, the flowers, just the greenery alone everywhere, the building colors, everything. There was just so much color, and it was just like a feast for the soul for me, and always is every time we go. And I'm always inspired, and I can't wait to get to painting some flowers and things like that, and some ocean scenes, and I'm so inspired. But one of the things that I wanted to say about this page is, while the theme is taking time to rest, that is very important. And I talk about that a lot, and it's something that I work on all the time. But the other thing that I wanted to mention about this page is that sometimes we think that a page has to be perfection, that it has to be this finished, like a masterpiece. And our journal pages is a reflection of our lives. I don't want you to forget that. It's a reflection of who we are and where we've been. And let it be what it is. And I had to remind myself about that for this page because it was chaotic, and yet it represented everything on our trip. Of course, the picture, the envelopes in the back, a message to myself to take time to rest. The colors were everywhere. The white splashes were the splashes of the ocean water, that sound of the ocean. The pattern in the background, the patterns in the buildings, all the flowers, just the growth and all the beauty of the flowers everywhere. Just all these different things that had something that was something specific that represents something specific. And so even all the circles, they have personal meaning to me. And let that be your journey as you journal. I know that a lot of times I give you inspiration by what I'm creating, but truly let it be a reflection of your story. Our journals are always, and I know I say this a lot, but sometimes I think we have to remind ourselves. I have to remind myself, even when I'm on camera, because I want it to be inspiring to you. Sometimes it's just a reflection of our lives in the moment, and that is it. And let your journal be that space, because it's so good to be able to. I go back through my journals all the time and I remember, oh yes, it takes me back to that moment, and I get to remember now this beautiful time that we finally got to get away and be with our wonderful friends and relax and just enjoy some space and time together. It just, it's always memorable, and it was a yearly thing for us. And, now after a break for a couple of years, we're kind of hopefully back to that plan again. But let your journals be the place where you document your life, where you tell your story, whether it's beautiful or not beautiful, because that time that we spend in our journals is so incredibly valuable to ourselves. It could be that place where we take time to rest. And sometimes resting is messy, and it's work for us to kind of get to that restful place. Document that in your journals too. Nothing is off limits in your journals. This is for you. This is your story. And you're going to look back on it and remember the moments. Remember the hard. Remember the good. Remember the colorful. Remember all of the journey. It's for you. And to release and let go and take the time in your journals to rest and just let it all go. And that is all I have for you today. Nothing huge, nothing meaningful. Just sharing my joy of my journal time and my journey. And that's it, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. I hope it's restful and peaceful. I hope that you get some time to rest. And I hope that you take some time today to really document your journey, your day, your story in your journal, and let it be that, beautiful or messy. All right, my friends, have a wonderful Sunday, and always, always know that you are loved.